Alright, there's my load to Picayune, Mississippi. I get to go home. Yes, my 1 ton needs a windshield. Now, the way this load was laid out, the little unit was up front, big unit was in the back. I swap them around because I like to have the big unit up front, the little unit in the back. Reason being is I don't like the heavy trailer on the ass end. I don't like it sitting there bouncing around, stressing out cross members and what have you. So, and surprisingly enough, there's about a 1,500 pound difference between these two units. But nonetheless, I like the big units up front. Now, that's my, what would you call it? That's the load taking me home. Oh, shit. So I seen where the traveling billboard for Wave is in the shop for a grenaded fuel system. And I think he said it was going to be around $18,000 to fix it. Now, I'm not a smart man. I haven't claimed to be a smart man. I personally, if I had that truck, would just put a used motor in it. I'm also the same mindset that I'm not about to spend $80,000 to $100,000 for a 1 ton pickup. That's just, I can't. I know Facebook does, or YouTube doesn't like cussing, so that's just fracking stupid. So, if I had a truck that had 400,000 miles on it, I was doing single pull and I wasn't doing anything else, just doing singles, I would literally put a used motor in it. Salvage yards are all across America. You can find a used motor for probably 10 to 12, maybe 14. I don't know what they go for now. I imagine, I know when the motor let go in the 4500, my used motor was 9200, 9400. So I figure it's probably 12 to 13 for a 100,000 mile or less motor, L5P. That's what I would do. If you're in the situation, if you guys aren't doing it, you need to do it, and don't say, oh, I can do it on my own. Have your company take at least 10% out of your settlements and put it away. Don't use it for oil changes and tires. Have that shit come out of your normal bank account. That 10% is for when shit happens, because it's going to happen. I mean, there's no way around it. You have a pickup truck that you are using in a commercial setting, and it wasn't designed for that. So, there you go. Bear with me. So, yeah. In my take, a high mileage pickup, I would put a motor in it, I'd put a transmission in it, I'd put rear ends in it, especially now since the replacement cost is 80 to 100 grand. And for those of you who are going to go, well, a new truck has a warranty, that fucking warranty is going to last you 1 year, and in that year, the likelihood of you ever needing it is slim and none. Even with my little gas motor truck that everyone told me couldn't do this job, in that first year, I had a wheel cylinder go bad and an alternator. I mean, I know guys who've got 500,000-600,000 miles on a truck. You know, in the first year of operation, they didn't do shit to it other than change oil and put tires on it. So, you know, buying a new truck for the argument of well, I have a warranty. That's not a valid reason to spend $100,000 on a pickup truck. And depending on how bad if you destroy a motor in a year, there's a pretty good chance. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. I'm just going to say there's a good chance that somebody from that manufacturer comes down and actually looks to see what you're doing. And once they figure out you're doing commercial work with it, they may go ahead and reject the claim, considering they don't have to cover commercial use. And it's kind of hard to get away with it when you got a commercial tag. You got no back seat. And I only bring this up because in my 1-ton, a couple years ago when they put a transmission in it, I had a code come up and it needed a valve body, and rather than Max Care, which is the warranty from Chrysler, rather than them just put a valve body in it, they'd opted to put a transmission in it. And so it cost me $100, and they put a transmission in it. But before they did it, they wanted to see they had asked the service writer at the dealership for a copy of, or a photograph of, the back seat area, the bed, and the registration on the truck. And then asked point blank, does he use this for hot shot purposes? And of course, the lady's like, well, no, he owns a semi. So he's like, well, all right, that makes sense. And they approved it, and away it went. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just something to point out that what may or may not happen. Yeah, guys, when it comes to these pickup trucks, as they get older, you got to treat your equipment good. Like, when I go to Mesa, Arizona, I don't go 40 to 17 and into Mesa. I don't do it. I'm not going to take my truck. I'm not going to beat it up and down highway or Interstate 17 up and around the mountains, because it never fails. I'll get a good pull. I need to go get into the left lane to go around a slower truck, and I can't because there's some dickhead next to me, and I got to get out of it and then lose all the momentum and turn the fan on and crawl over the hill. And I can add 150 miles to the trip. I get off at Santa Rosa, take 54 down to Alamogordo, pop over the hill, hit 10 for 2 miles, or hit 25 for 2 miles, hit 10, and take 10 on in. And as I come in, I stop at Eloy, at Little Sisters, get the truck washed, and going up the road to the TA, go to bed, get up in the morning before traffic, go on in, make my delivery, and come back out. Some of you all might think that's stupid, but you know what? I only have 2 hills that are less of a grade and less mileage than going over 17. So, yeah, it might be stupid, but I'm not beating on my equipment. Y'all got to realize at some point, y'all can't keep doing this. Some guys who, do what they do is because they've got a income. But I don't see how you can pencil this in to make buy a $100,000 truck and make that payment plus the insurance payment plus most people's bills. Like, I don't have most people's bills. I really don't. I have a credit card bill, and I have that bill. And I promise you, my payment on that thing is way less than most of you guys in a pickup. And I get to stand up to pee. So, I'm not saying go buy a semi to go do single pull by any means. I'm just saying, at some point, you guys have to start using your head, start looking, and maybe think outside the box. Maybe a 300 series Peterbilt or Kenworth. Maybe that's a better option, because you could probably buy them for $60. Buy a 4-door version, and not necessarily a sleeper, but be way more comfortable than the back seat of a pickup truck, and potentially $30,000 to $40,000 less. There we go. But yeah, if you're going to keep a pickup and you're going to continue to run a pickup, man, guys, really and truly, I don't, unless you're just throwing a bunch of cash down to knock that payment down, it's just stupid. Before I bought that Peterbilt, I entertained looking at a pickup to go do multi-haul, because I had a dumb moment, and I looked at used, and used trucks were $45,000. I was looking at 18 Rams. I was not looking at Chevrolet or Ford, and I wasn't looking at 19 or newer anything. I was looking strictly 2018 Rams. Couldn't touch one for under $45,000, and they were anywhere from 120 to 200,000 miles. And that's just, to me, that's insane. Literally insane. So you got a truck now that you have, there's a guy that I know, I talk to on a regular basis. He's got an 18 Ram. He sends off his oil samples, and they keep coming back, little wear, everything's good. His wear metals are where they need to be, or actually a little bit better than what they should be, to be honest. Of course, he got a 68 RFE, so he's on his third or fourth transmission, and still on the original rear end. So it's only a matter of time before the rear end lets go, because let's face it, they don't go forever. But I told him, at some point you're going to have to make a decision. Of course, he's got some issues that he's got to deal with, but nonetheless, for him, it's either put a rear end in it and continue running it, or hang it up because of the issues that he's got. And then, really and truly, if you're power only and you're at Bennett, and when I say power only, I'm not talking about the guys that just run campers. I'm talking to guys who aren't afraid to have an ELD in their truck, and they're doing other loads for other agents besides the two in Indiana that do campers. I don't know why you guys are in pickups to begin with. I would either be in a semi doing power only, or I'd be in a medium duty, like the 337 Peterbilt that has the 9-liter motor in it. Not a 6-liter motor, not a 7-liter motor, a 9-liter motor, or even a 10. That's where I'd be. And ideally, if I could find a M2 or a Cascadia, M2 107, I think, has a DD13 in it. To me, that's badass. That would be a perfect camper toter and any other trailer toter, in my opinion. You got more than enough power to tote down the road. You got longevity. You got dependability, reliability. But I also it's harder to get financed on a bigger truck than it is just to walk into a dealership and buy a car. A couple months ago, I bought the wife a new Mini Cooper, and didn't show proof of income, didn't put no money down, just signed the paperwork and drove off. It was fucking the craziest thing I've ever done. Now I'll try to get that thing paid off in 2 years, because I don't want a car note. But anyway. So yeah, hopefully this video doesn't suck ass. remember, if you got an older truck, I would just, me personally, y'all do whatever you want to do. Most of you guys out here are trying to impress every other transporter, and I don't give two shits about what someone thinks about my equipment. As long as it makes money and it fits my needs, that's all that matters. Now, no one's going to convince me that they need a $100,000 pickup to do a job that pays one way. No. 45 was bad enough in the thing I'm sitting in right now. So, and ultimately and truly, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, if I was to truly go back to just campers and only campers, nothing but campers, I would buy me a gas motor. Fuck a diesel. You know, you can replace a gas motor for, hell, you can buy 2 gas motors for the price of a used diesel motor. You can let the thing idle. You don't have to delete it. Yeah, I may not get as good a fuel mileage, but on the same hand, I'm not going to be dumb enough to pull a 45-foot toy hauler either. So there's that. There's no city in America has an ordinance that says you can't idle a gas truck. There's ordinances all throughout the U.S. that says you can't idle a diesel truck. And y'all laugh and think I'm stupid, and that's fine. But gas was moving stuff long before diesel was. Like, what do you think in the 90s was running campers? Hell, in the 80s. You know, it wasn't like campers just came about. Campers have been coming out of here for decades. I guarantee you them boys in 88, 85 were running 460s, 454s. And whatever hell motor was in a Ram or a Dodge then. So, I mean, yeah, are they nice? Hell yeah, they're nice. But $100,000 for a pickup is stupid. I'd just rebuild the one I got. I'd either rebuild the one I got or I'd buy a gasser. And for the ones that say, oh, they can't fit into a gas pump, every Flying J in America has an RV pump on the side. Every one of them. Plenty of room. And every new loves, if you look at the far end of one side or the other, the way they have the gas pumps, it's set up for a truck with a trailer. A pickup truck with a trailer. I wouldn't go over there, but that's just me. I wouldn't buy Love's gas anyway because it's not close to being top tier. But, you know, y'all do you. Just saying. You got a high mileage truck and you're at the point that you want to still do this. It's either spend $80 to $100 for a diesel, buy you a brand new gasser for $50, or put used parts in the thing you got already. I mean, it's running on used parts anyway. I guarantee you, well, no, this truck is different, but like I said, if I had a diesel and it blew up, or the fuel system blew up, I would not replace the fuel system. I just replace the entire motor, drop the tank, flush the lines when the tank's down, replace the fuel filter, and go about my day. I would not spend $18,000 on a fuel system when you can spend $18,000 on a used motor. Just my opinion. Anyway, 20 minutes of rumbling around saying the same thing over and over. Sorry. As always, y'all be safe. Y'all be good.